Hello and a very warm welcome from the Asia Cup 2023 final between India and Sri Lanka. This is me Shubhain Chakravarti and Devashish Sen right here from the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, and in Kolkata we have Joydeep Mukherjee and Asif Mukhopadhyay sitting there, and we are gearing up for the big finale. Thoughts on the match? We are seeing the atmosphere, Devashish. It's the best atmosphere so far in this tournament.
Best atmosphere that we got to see ahead of the final. And fact, this is what cricket needs. For a final, what more you want? A packed house means the tickets are sold out, buzzing atmosphere, with Sri Lankan fans with their jerseys, the flags. What more you want? And this is what you want, the home team playing the final. India also, there are a huge number of Indian fans as well. And it can't get better. It can't get better. This is what is what I've normally appreciated whenever the Indian team plays in the final.
Absolutely. Earlier in previous matches, there was not much movement behind us, but you can see the fans are still going and lining up for their queues, and trying to enter the stadium. It's a sold out atmosphere, but we'll go to join them after that to know what they are thinking about the match. India versus Sri Lanka. They have played so many finals. So what are you expecting from this game?
India has played 11 finals, Sri Lanka has played 13 finals. If India has half the energy Devashish has as of now, we'll be doing well. It's good to see Devashish charged up. I hope the team is also. How are they in the nets? Was it an optional one? All were there. What is the mood like?
India did not train. India took a complete rest day yesterday. They did not train. During the match against Bangladesh, Virat Kohli and the other guys, Hardik Pandya, who did not play the game, had a few hits at the nets on the sidelines of the match. But India did not train completely. Sri Lanka did train for a bit, but it was a very casual sort of a training, like a warm-up session. And yes, it has become a norm with so much cricket being played that on big matches the teams generally don't train. So yes, but we are expecting again a full team to be back on the team sheet. The likes of Virat, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, everyone will be back in the team.
And what is the weather like? What is the weather forecast? I'm sorry, but this is a mandatory question.
I can show you. I can show you a bit. It's clear. It's clear. The sky is clear. Yes, there's a forecast for rain, but you can see the sky so far. It's clear. It's clear. But there's a bit of a dark patch there, but I don't think that will be an issue. After 4 p.m. After 4 p.m. There's a forecast of 80 to 90% chance of rain, and we have seen the trend in Colombo. We have seen the trend in Kandy. That it can change. The weather can change very quickly. So yes, fingers crossed. Everyone is hoping that the rain god, the dark clouds, stay away as far as from the stadium. But yes, there's a forecast. But what else can we do? We can just pray and hope for a full match.
Shubhain, keep your sunglasses away because every time you wear your sunglasses, it rains.
I have not got my sunglasses today.
Good.
We have had matches. We have had rains, matches shortened by rain. But overall, Jyoti, what do you think? India survived the rain. They have had preparations for the World Cup. And
Yeah, I think it's a classic contest between somebody who's really up there and has all bases covered against somebody which is like an old machine which has been doing really well over the years. In Asia Cup, Sri Lanka has played two more finals than India. So sometimes but if you see this record, we always see India and Pakistan dominate Asia Cup finals, and but it's not the case. I mean, this is fact. Sri Lanka, and it comes down to one game. They'll take a cue out of how Bangladesh beat India. Yeah, India were not at full strength, agreed, but still were a formidable side. And yet, the two fast spinners policy might work with them. The pitch is like, not depend on that. India will come out of guns blazing, but it's not a game that is, we can just give it. It will be a tough fight.
I was the five Super 4 matches played in Colombo. In four of those, first
Right.
it's not necessarily got to do with the toss, but there were all those four matches. The batting side the team batting first, they won the match. Yeah, Joy, do you think the team winning the toss go for?
If there's a rain forecast, I would rather have a team go win the toss and bat second because that opens up a lot more for you. I think it's a lot cleaner and clearer in front of you when you bat second. And since there is a rain threat, and it's been rightly said in this whole tournament, there'll be more rain truncated matches than full games. So that's the reason why I think that'll happen unless they feel that the pitch is a tad dry to bat first, and then both the teams want their spinners to have a good time at the back end.
I want to ask Humayun and we have seen a bit of spin in the last few matches. And do you think Lanka definitely did? And do you think India will also have three spinners in the 11 or think of any?
Absolutely, absolutely. I for one is Kennedy normally feel that they will go in with three spinners. But yes, Akshay Patel is injured is out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Washington Sundar is straight away drafted into the playing 11. He has joined the team yesterday, and so I think, especially he's a off spinner, and Sri Lanka has quite a few left-handers in their batting order. So I will not be surprised if if the Indian team now straight away gets in Washington back as well. And he brings the variety because he being an off spinner, we have a Kuldeep Yadav who has been the spinner in form, having picked 9 wickets, and you are having the Jadeja 2 and all rounder. So that's a very, very potential in ball attack.
Shubhan, do you expect the pitch to be spin? I mean, pitch to offer something to the spinners. More, probably more than what we saw in the last
Yes,
few games.
yes, yes, the pitch will be on the drier side, so I completely agree with Debashish here. Just dropped in Washington Sundar, check whether he's ready or not. He's no new to play, making debuts in big finale. His IPL debut was in a final when Rising Pune Super Giants played that final. And under MS Dhoni, he made his IPL debut, so he knows what it is to take play under pressure. We saw what he did on his test debut in Australia. So Washington Sundar has faced such situations before where he has come in as an emergency player but has performed really well. So he's a mature guy. He's a mature player, can bat really well. And if you play Washington Sundar, then you can send him up in the order as well at number 5, just to bring that left-handedness into the play. So yes, I am expecting a Washington Sundar to play, and if the pitch is on the drier side, then it doesn't make any change. And similarly, for the Sri Lankan team as well, they have brought in a Sahan Arachige for in place of Mahesh Theekshana. Arachige can bat. Arachige can bowl a bit of off spin. So I'm expecting these two players to come into the playing 11 straight away.
Joydeep, what do you think about this Washington and what's happening? What do you think?
No, I think we play with Aksar, Kuldeep, and Jadeja at one point in time. So um, just because it's worked for Bangladesh doesn't mean he has to follow it. That was Bangladesh, and I think he had an off day. Except nobody really got going for long period. This time, in Aksar got disappointing, Shardul got disappointing. I mean, we were very, very close, and I thought we at the back end our batting was a big factor. This is the reason why we lost. But I unless I see the but if you're playing before then what a lot of people don't understand on the same ground, even if the adjacent pitches are not, people are running on it, batters are running on it with spikes on, people are diving on it. It does take a bit of wear and tear. So new always mean a fresh pitch.
So will definitely bank on the spin bowlers, and India will take that call. It's either Washington or Shardul. But overall, Joydeep, do you think World Cup, as far as that is concerned, India have had the chance to try out players higher? If they tried out,
A lot of trying players and getting in very good form is more important. In 2007, when we won the World Cup, we had some sort of, lack of a better word, we didn't play a lot for India, but the guns all fired. In 2011, same thing. There were some who had for the country, but the performance for it. If you look at the one-day series happening all over the world, what's Henry Claassen doing? What's happening in South Africa series? People in Australia, South Africa, England, New Zealand, the next strokes 169. So there are batters who are coming into form, main players coming into form. So for me, this tournament is about our players coming into form. I want the Virat Kohlis, the Rohit Sharmas, the Hardik Pandyas, the Shami, the Sirajas, the Puttas, the Kuldeeps to be in form. If 7 or 8 people are in form, it doesn't matter who the other 3 are. Yeah, I think the Asia Cup before this, I would say the same thing, but in the there has been fall for the batters have been scoring runs. The fast bowlers. Siraj is coming off an injury. Jadeja's form with the bat is, but form is something that's not in your best. It's something that when you have it with you, you thank the Lord that you have it. When you don't have it, you don't have it. Time span, it doesn't even work. Coming 3 days. You never know when it will come. So I'm sure work is going on, but a season like him, I don't see him being out of form for too long.
I have a slightly different question for Sri Lanka. Shubha and Devashish, do you the whole team as over here dependent on their middle order, those 2 middle order players, and the openers have not really fired. Other than those 2 middle order, low middle order, not too many contributions other than matches. You think they are too dependent on those 2, number 3 and 4?
Uh, it is for the Indian team or Sri Lankan team?
Sri Lankan team. Sri Lankan team.
Sri Lankan team is of course, Pathum Nishanka and Kushal Mendes. They make a very core part of that Sri Lankan batting unit. But at the same time, we have seen what the likes of Charith Asalanka. Charith Asalanka played a very crucial knock in their last game against Pakistan. Dhananjay De Silva also played a very crucial knock. Dunit Vallalage down the order played a brilliant knock against India. So he's someone who is a top order batter generally, but as he's playing in the senior team, they don't have a spot for him in the top 4, top 5. So he's playing at number 8. But they are very well potent batting unit. They know these conditions. They have played entire cricket in these conditions, so they know what it takes to win in these conditions. So don't rule Sri Lanka out at all. But at the same time, Devashish and to our team in Repco in Kolkata also. Let's see how Swiggy Dine Out has helped our team in this entire journey of this Asia Cup. So let's check out what they did ahead of the final.
See, we haven't seen too many giant scores here. India scored plus in that game, and Pakistan India crossed 350 in that game. But other than that, it's been 16 almost all the matches. You think we are going to see something similar? I think something in the region of 260 will be a good score.
Good score, yeah. Anything above 275 is a decent total. It's not easy to chase here at R. Premadasa Stadium. So I guess Devashish, it will be a decent total if team batting first and first anything above 275.
Whoever bats first needs to score near the region of 300.
Right.
That will put a psychological pressure and make rather, and especially in a big final like this. Obviously, they are going to pressure on both the teams. And remember, the batting is not that easy compared to the sun is out, the sun is and the ball will come onto the bat. But
Right.
I think whichever team bat first needs to force needs to target batting the opposition out, and because that for a big pressure game like a final, it will put pressure on the opponent.
But let's stop our cricket discussion now and let's see how Swiggy Dine Out has helped us in this entire journey of the Asia Cup.
Shubhayan,
And
we
with me
gather he
is
has some
Devashish
news
sir.
for us.
Good news is that the Indian team has qualified for the Asia Cup final.
It's a hugely important thing to have qualified for the Asia Cup, and if they go on to win the tournament, it will be a confidence booster before they head into the World Cup.
Let's see what our team Rev Sports is doing in Kolkata at Cozina Mining Restaurant. Thanks to Swiggy right now for helping us find this amazing restaurant. So let's check it out.
welcome. It's the Asia Cup final, the big final, and India has dominated. You have to say it's been brilliant. Just give us a sense of the taste of the lal mas.
This is amazing. This is so spicy. This is the garlic naan that I'm having with the lal mas, and it's amazing. It's so flavorful, and it's not, it's nothing too hot. It's spicy, but it's not too hot. It's amazing.
Okay, so let me give you the fare. So we have the Thai green curry chicken, of course, there it is, with the jasmine rice. We have the Peshawari naan. We have the lacha paratha. We have the garlic butter prawn. We have the spicy salmon. We have the classic cheesecake. We have the virgin sex on the beach and yuzu cucumber fizz. So it's an amazing fare at the Cuisina Mining Company. That's where we are, thanks to Swiggy Dine Out. Cuisina Mining Company, as you can see around us.
So we are inside a mine.
Exactly. And when you entered, it gave us that sense of entering this dark
The depths
tunnel.
of a mine, and here is some very interesting decor. This is one of my favorite stars, Shashi Kapoor, in the film Kala Patthar, which was set against a mining backdrop. So I'm really thrilled to see this. So this is really amazing, very relaxing, very amazing, a little bit mysterious.
Kuldeep Yadav has been full of mystery. No one, just no one has been able to decode Kuldeep Yadav. Can Kuldeep Yadav continue his form in the final? Jasprit Bumrah at the start. The entire batting has triumphed. Kuldeep Yadav with his spin. India is playing as a collective. Can we set up the World Cup? This tournament, despite all the rain, has been a spot-on one for India. That number 4, number 5 conundrum, KL Rahul has answered the questions. Number 4, we still don't have an answer, but with KL Rahul back, it's looking much more settled.
This is the Thai green curry with chicken, which is one of my favorites actually.
What is this? It's all film.
Mackenna's
This is Mackenna's
Gold.
Gold.
Mackenna's
Wonderful.
Gold, yes,
Wonderful.
another iconic Hollywood Western. Again, a great favorite film of mine. So this, decor is amazing, and it just shows that the people who set up the restaurant knew what they were doing.
So once again, we are at the Cuisina Mining Company here in Kolkata, mine-themed restaurant, celebrating the Asia Cup final, thanks to Swiggy Dine Out. Fingers crossed for India in Sri Lanka at the Premadasa. Can Rohit Sharma win this one and get all the momentum into the Australia series and of course the big World Cup? All the best to the team and all the best to our team. And now our other team, which is producing, is saying wrap up, we need to eat. Use Swiggy Dine Out, make your bookings, you can get 40% off and there's no membership fee.
Well, yeah, carry on.
Excellent. What about Kerala? I'd like to ask you your thoughts on him.
I think from India's point of view, that's a very heartening development. Rahul comes over there. We all know that, but then what he do is is kind of a balance that others that you do not get from others. He is if you lose two he will and hold the innings together. Then we have seen towards the innings, he can of the innings he can accelerate. He can score inning, improvise, play those T20 shots. And the long innings that he has that endurance level. So he's an important player and he can get some runs.
We've seen many other opening batters have gone. The Tendulkars who batted in the middle of all their life. I played one day cricket with Ganguly and he batted in Bengal. And then, of course, what he's done for India, Sachin. But as far as he's concerned, it's the tougher route to go. If you look at the numbers, in a 57 one-day game, over 2,000 runs, his average is 56.84 and his is 87. So those are phenomenal numbers. He's the sort of guy, he'll win the match on his own. And a lot of talk of him, why he should be included, why is he looked at, when he was special, you treat him with a little bit of, you give him a little stronger note than you would give the others. All the greats of Indian cricket have had it, and why they're great today. And I think right in giving KL Rahul the long road that they have.
For the World Cup, that's a very good get some runs and get some quality runs.
So that much clear.
India's bowling combination.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Okay, we'll come to that in a bit. It's a bit I want to ask you about Naseem Shah. But is that a big blow? Is that a big blow?
It's a big blow. It's a big blow to the tournament. Because in a tournament like the World Cup, you want the best of players come out and perform. It presents chances of value of out there. The world is a huge loss, not just for the Pakistan team, but for everybody who likes watching cricket.
145 kilometers per hour, but the only advantage Pakistan have over India is I was talking to some players during the IPL, the PSL, and they say every team is got 3 bowlers for 145. They're amazed at the fast quality in the PSL. And I was talking to some players who played the PSL for the past 5 years. So I was talking to them, what is the PSL, the fast bowling attack? He said, there are people who won't even have their names, but they'll be bowling 145. Net bowlers will be bowling 140. People who just walk in and bowl the next to you. So replacement will not be like you rightly said, the sort of impact that he has. And he's been in the plans all along, and now at the last minute, last minute injuries like Travis has broken his arm. Last minute injuries are always.
And see, you still get bowlers in Pakistan who will replace Naseem Shah and bowl at 145 plus. But
Yeah, absolutely. And you ready. Now the other person also to give him time to get ready. So pace is one thing, Malik is 150. With the Indian team, he's not. He's not ready. When he is ready, he'll play all 3 versions.
he'll go to the tournament as well.
On that note, why don't we listen to what Shoaib Malik said about Naseem Shah? On that note, why don't we listen to what Shoaib Malik said about Naseem Shah?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah.
If we look at Naseem Shah's performances, he's been so consistent and वो नया बॉल बहुत अच्छा करता है, वो मिडिल ओवर्स भी बहुत अच्छे करता है, डेथ बॉलिंग भी he's been doing exceptionally well. मुझे ये लगता है कि ये हिट जरूर करेगी और वो इसलिए भी ज्यादा हिट करेगा कि आपने किसी को इतने ज्यादा चांसेस दिए नहीं. आपने चांसेस दिए होते तो कोई आपके ऑलरेडी रेडी होता कि इतने बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे टू कम एंड do well, especially crunch situations में, because you're going to compete against all the teams to reach in the semis. तो उसमें ये है कि ये हिट जरूर करेगा पाकिस्तान को, but I'm sure a lot depend on Shaheen and Haris Rauf because they have been playing consistently और मुझे ये लगता है कि उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बढ़ेगी और क्योंकि उनके साथ अब नसीम शाह नहीं होंगे. लेकिन we do have backups. सिर्फ ये है कि बीच में टाइम नहीं है कि जहां पे they could give those backups some chances from where they gain some confidence to go in a big platform जैसे वर्ल्ड कप है. तो थोड़ा सा हिट जरूर करेगा बट मेजर मुझे ये लग रहा है कि वो ज्यादा इसलिए भी हिट करेगा स्पिनर्स नॉट डूइंग वेल स्पेशली व्हेन इट कम्स डाउन टू बॉलिंग इन द मिडिल ओवर्स. तो वो अगर थोड़े अच्छे फॉर्म में आ जाएंगे, शादाब हैं, अभी इफ्तिखार ने बहुत अच्छी बॉलिंग की, जैसे नवाज हैं या उसामा मीर हैं, ये ऐसे बॉलर्स हैं, इनका फॉर्म में वापस आना बहुत जरूरी है स्पेशली शादाब का बिकॉज टीम एक्सपेक्ट्स अ लॉट फ्रॉम हिम और उनका भी वो फॉर्म वापस आ सकता है. ये मेरा मानना है शादाब का कि अगर वो अपना फोकस बैटिंग से हटा के थोड़ा सा बॉलिंग की तरफ ज्यादा लेके जाए. मुझे ये लगता है कि उनको बीच में इतना यूज किया गया है कि उनका बैटिंग ऑर्डर जो है वो इतना फ्लक्चुएट किया गया है, उनसे एक्सपेक्ट ये किया गया है कि वो एक जो है ना जो एज अ मेन बैटर इट सीम्स दैट ही इज प्लेइंग नहीं, हिज रोल इज टू बोल 10 ओवर्स एंड गेट्स विकेट्स इन द मिडिल ओवर्स क्योंकि वो बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा जब आपका ऊपर से आपको विकेट्स लेके देते हैं आपके बॉलर्स. तो मिडिल ओवर्स में भी जब विकेट्स आएंगे तो वो टारगेट automatically नीचे आ जाएगा. You're defending or you're batting first.
So that was Shoaib Malik and some interesting points made about Naseem Shah. And I guess that will be equal for Akshar Patel as well. India would be sweating right now with his quadricep injury. If it's serious, then Washington Sundar.
I think it took a blessing in disguise for him.
Okay.
Especially, I think the selectors gone wrong with getting in three left-arm spinners. That is for me is a bit one-dimensional because Kuldeep Yadav, when you have Kuldeep Yadav in form, so I would assume that he would be a certainty in the playing 11 along with Ravindra Jadeja. But as far as variety is concerned, you need a off spinner or for that matter a leg spinner. Now that trial is not into reckoning with Washington Sundar being thrown into the final into Sri Lanka for the final. I for one, if he does well, if he has a good final, I wouldn't be surprised if he's drafted into the World Cup squad in the 15-member World Cup squad because September 21st is the last date. So I think if he has a good performance in the finals, he might well be added in that World Cup side.
Absolutely, on my Pebble watch, it is just 3 minutes away from the toss where we will see whether Washington Sundar gets to play or not. But that first.
I would say so because what happened in the game against Pakistan? Yes, you fact first, you lay foundation. Rohit and Shubman has done really well in this tournament.
Right.
Literally all the matches, barring the first match against Pakistan
Right.
at Kalapile. So I think if India can get a good start, remember Shubman is coming back after a brilliant 100 in the game against Bangladesh, right? Obviously, he's good for a big score.
Right.
Virat, we all know that he played that wonderful knock against Pakistan.
Loves this stadium.
Has been the man in form. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, and there will be another interesting thing that whether Shreyas Iyer gets a chance. The Shreyas Iyer gets a chance in the playing 11. That will be another bone of contention because we are just a moments away from the top.
Yes.
So it will be interesting what is the composition of the Indian team.
Absolutely, and I'll ask the same question to Joyda and Afroza as well in the studio. What do you reckon? Should India bat first after winning the toss, or because there's a bit of concern around ground as well? If the Duckworth-Lewis method comes into the play, then also, or if the overs get reduced, it will change the dynamics of the entire match. So, what do you guys reckon? Should India bat first or field first?
Yeah, for me, it's always field first because when you bat second, you have a lot more control on what is ahead of you. But I don't have as much intel as Devashish has. He always gets the toss right.
We have our toss expert right here. What do you think, Aslu? Should India bat first or field first?
Maybe I need to go to the casino.
Of rain, I would have say bat first because in Sri Lanka the pitches tend to get slow as the match goes on and chasing becomes a bit difficult. But as Joydeep said that with the threat of rain around, batting second makes sense because chasing you can calculate your chase, you can chase your chase accordingly.
You know, just to add what Devashish said, you want variety in the team. But for me, all the players that have the variety, we have to be at the same level. So for me, Ravindra Jadeja with the left arm spin, with the Chinaman, and the
I think they were bringing too much loud noise. The court was just happening.
then we could have said these three players are on the same level, and now they're mixed.
So I guess the toss has just happened because the stadium is the people inside are absolutely screaming at the top of their voices. We'll just get the toss update in a couple of minutes. So let's hang in there. The noise is deafening. Yes, we have the update. We have the update. We have the playing 11, and Washington Sundar is playing in this match. No Shardul Thakur, no Mohammad Shami, no Shreyas Iyer. Washington Sundar is drafted straight into the playing 11. And this is the big update coming. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Siraj is your playing 11 for this match. Sri Lanka have won the toss and have opted to bat first. Joyda Devashish has again got it right. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Hello.
I think the right call. The reason being
Yeah.
that we've seen what the three spinners of Bangladesh did to
Yes,
Indian
Joseph, please
batters.
continue.
So yeah, I think it's the right call. I think when you raced him in down from the NCA in a day's time, in the NCA everybody is ready. That's why NCA takes a lot of flack. But I think this is where the credit should be also given. And this is a great time to he's ready for the last 1 month. And Sri Lanka is batting first and the reason is that they feel that they want to put India. Maybe it's some like I said, there have been matches on this ground. You will have some wear and tear. They feel let us put some runs on the board, pressure of a final, and then we let us maybe they'll crumble another time. They did in the last game.
I think more than pressure of final, the pressure of chasing will be more telling because Indians have played. They have played big matches. So pressure of final may not be the biggest factor here, but yes, chasing under lights in conditions in Colombo where the ball might stop and come, the ball will turn. So chasing will be difficult. So Sri Lanka are playing to their strength, which is spin bowling, and that is why they have chose to bat. They will come at India with a number of spinners. And some of their, what do you think about this pool of spinners? They have specialist spinners. Unfortunately, one of their main spin weapons is missing out on this match. But they have batters also who can chip in with a few overs. So overall spin bowling unit.
Yeah, they're very good and they play spin well also. It's just not a question of being able to bowl spin. They play spin well, so when our spinners also bowl to them, they'll be able to handle it. If there is some early, help for the spinners, their batters, love batting in these conditions because they've been brought up on similar pitches as us. They've brought up against some high-class spinners in their first-class speed. They don't have 38 teams like we do, but they have some very, very good spinners in their first-class teams. So when you play against them, you score runs against them, then you can, you have the belief that you can play a Jadeja, you can play a Washington Sundar. Now Kuldeep is different. Now with his wrist spin and with the mystery that he has, he becomes a different proposition. He's somebody you cannot replicate, but the others you can.
Yeah, and that's what Sri Lanka. That is Sri Lanka's strength. They have they are a very neat and little organized side in their own setup. They feel comfortable in this setup. And yes, Kuldeep has been a big factor for India. And Shubhan, what do you think of India's book? Okay.
We'll come to that in a bit, but time for we toss to a fan video.
Of the Asia Cup 2023 final here at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. We have the mascot lion with us. We have some trumpets and the atmosphere is absolutely buzzing. It is a sold out crowd. You can see the dance, you can see the music, and it is going to be an extraordinary match. Some play. It is going to be something which we haven't witnessed. It is amazing. You see the crowd. We are still 3 hours away from the match, but the people are buzzing right now. You can see. It is crazy.
incredible, isn't it? Shubhan and Devashish, both from the land of the Royal Bengal tiger, playing with the Sri Lankan Lions. Not bad, and both of them are back. Both of them are back. We lost them because they had gone to play with the Lankan Lions, and they are both back having some issues as well. They embrace the Lion, kiss the Lion, match just of India. Who won that battle? Who won that battle? Who was the Lion? Devashish was.
Sorry, we didn't get your question. It's too much noise.
No, question is who won that battle? You versus the Lion. Devashish was referee. Okay, we've lost them again. Not an issue. Choppy internet. Quick question to both of you. We were talking about Washington Sundar. What does it take? I mean, you've just been there yesterday playing a final. Does this open the door for him for the World Cup as well?
Certainly. He gets a 4 for today. You never know. Gets a handy 30 at the back end. A game like the last one. These are opportunities people wait for. When he was at the NCA, and when somebody told him one of the spinners that got injured, he must have thought, is this a little bit of a crack in the door that I needed? And sometimes careers change from here. Maybe he'll be the player of the tournament in the World Cup. Maybe he'll have a great final. Maybe he'll do really well. You never know. You never know.
I won't look that far, but yes, today they have included again in the 11, which means that Washington is not exactly your wicket-taking bowler. He will give you some economical overs, and he's a very good sixth bowler. And with the kind of batting abilities he has, he is in quite a very very handy cricketer to have.
Yeah, I mean, needless to say, if all of you go back to Australia to that famous tour, Washington Sundar on debut, what an incredible debut that was. But Joydipda, as we were talking about, we were seeing that Lion video. He said 162 all out. But does he actually feel that way? I mean, take it. I mean, Sri Lanka batting first. Would you say that India favourites because India has beaten them? Or it's a different game? Final in front of a home crowd, Sri Lanka, good side.
No, India always the favourites, just because of the firepower that they have. They're just player to player. If you could name them, India clear favourites. But again, like I said, it's not on paper, it's on the pitch that the game is played. And last time Shubhan asked me, I said 255, it came out of 265. I'm just saying that India fast bowlers start out well, and they can do that to you.
Okay, quickly, let me go to Shubhan and Devashish. If you guys can hear me, who was the Lion, the Bengal Tiger versus the Lankan Lion. Devashish was refereeing it.
Yeah, I don't think the Lankan Lions will be firing because it has gone really overcast and the conditions are ideally suited for the Indian bowlers. So best of luck to the Sri Lankan batters. I think Jasprit Bumrah and co will make life horrible for the Sri Lankan top order.
Last time it was cloudy, India-Pakistan, you wanted India to bowl bat first. Why? Please explain.
He's take that question.
But
Joydipda is insisting I can't answer for you. Please take it.
This is only for you to answer.
He's only laughing. He's only laughing. But that's the best part of the studio show. Shubhan, you want to step in? Step in, please.
On a serious note, just look at the sky now. Just look at the sky now. It has suddenly gone dark. Just outside the stadium.
There's 80% chance hours in the afternoon. Already to come down, as reported by Shubhan and Devashish. Now tell us, weathermen, is it or will it be what is the weather prediction for the rest of the afternoon?
Yeah, at least 80 to 90% chances of stars in the evening. So I think if the match is it goes to the reserve date, then but we won't want a repeat of 2002. What happened in Champions Trophy final with India and Sri Lanka sharing the Champions Trophy with rain washing away the final. So, but I think we will have a match on, but it will be a start and stop kind of a thing. For now, it has gone really, really dark, but the match will happen on time. hopefully the rain, the weather stays away because last time also there were predictions of rain, but it did not rain actually. India Bangladesh game, we got a full 50 overs a side. Was it 50 overs a side? Yes. So fingers crossed. We hope that rain stays away.
And every day it would not rain till 2. The first innings would be would start. Saurabh then later told me what nonsense was it? Why couldn't we start from where we are starting now? Why did we have to start afresh? Because they were starting afresh, they were not able to get the game. If they were starting midway, they were actually. So even if we have half a game, there is a chance of a result. And India had Sri Lanka on the ropes. At the final 160 for 7 or 8. So they would have probably have to chase 200 to win the game the next day. Team started get the trophy.
We have a Pakistan fan and an India fan. You guys, ये वाला headphone पहन लो. So these two are.
Okay. So, right. The Pakistan fan has basically sort of decided, missed the flight and decided that to shed a few tears in watching Sri Lanka and getting back. That's fine. We are there to good sport. Shubhan and Devashish are good sport. Sadly, we've lost them because of the internet. They're back again. Folks are back again with the Pakistani and Indian friends. Take it to
हाँ
They
तो
like
तो
to- yeah, go
बोला रहा है ना
on.
इंडिया आज इंडिया जीतेगा और इंडिया हमेशा क्रिकेट में जहाँ जहाँ पाकिस्तान की टीम फंसती है वो इंडिया स्कोर करता है यार श्रीलंका ने हमें ताजा ताजा एशिया कप दिलवाया पिछले एशिया कप में मुझे रुलाया फाइनल में हमें मारा तो हम इंडिया को स्कोर करें नेबर है एक जो है ना वो सीमा बोलते हैं ना
Yes.
वो नहीं सीमा
अभी अभी तो बादल हो रही है लेकिन खूबसूरत नहीं भी हो सकती है क्योंकि यहाँ का मौसम का कोई भरोसा नहीं होता है हाँ बॉलिंग मुझे सबसे ज्यादा होप है कुलदीप बुमराह में बॉलिंग में और ऑब्वियसली गिल पांड्या
पटिया बिल्कुल पटिया एक बात बताओ अहमदाबाद में जब इंडिया
अब तो हम हो गए
कोई ऑफर किए कि मैं कुछ पोस्ट भेजती हूँ वीजा के लिए और आपके चैनल के तो से मैं कहता हूँ कि एक साल के मौके पे जितने भी इंडियन पाकिस्तानी फैन हैं
स्पेशली जो जेन्युइन फैन है जो क्रिकेट के लिए दीवाने हैं जो मतलब खाली क्रिकेट के लिए हर देश में पहुंच जाते हैं कम से कम उनके लिए तो प्रोवाइड होना चाहिए
अगर आपने वीजा दिया तो फिर प्राइस बनोगे और फिर आप हमारे
फिर जो मतलब हम दोनों के आपस में मैच नहीं होती ना तो हमारी दोस्ती दिखती है जब हम दोनों के बीच में मैच होती ना तो
फिर दुश्मनी बांग्लादेश का मैच था तो मैंने इंडिया
Okay.
पाकिस्तान को छोड़ दिया जब आपस में इनकी बात
And our fans there from India and Pakistan, hopefully they'll have
अच्छी बात साफ नहीं आ रही
India or Sri Lanka.
ये पूछिए
Devashish, I hope you joined us because we had an audio issue there. We saw the Indians and Pakistani fans. Thank you very much for joining. So just give us a last quick update if you're still there. If Shopee can get you back, just give us a last quick update. Weather. Shubhan, if you can hear me, what's the weather? Is it still as dark? Is it brightening up? What's the scene?
I will just give you the live visuals of the sky. It's dark and gloomy. We spoke to the Indian and Pakistan fans. They both were saying it's not looking good at all. And the kind of crowd we are seeing today, everyone is hopeful that we'll get a match. But right now, it's not looking good at all. See the sky, see the dark patches there. It's just above the stadium, and if it bursts, then we will have a delayed start. Hopefully, in the next 15 minutes, it won't burst. The crowd won't burst, but if it does, then we will definitely have a delayed start. If not, then I am expecting the match to have some sort of rain interruptions throughout the entire game. Hopefully, we'll have a full match today. If not full match, then at least reduced over. But yes, It's not looking good at all. The 80 to 90% chances of forecast is coming through right now.
Okay, Devashish, you are our man. You said 300 the other day. India got 350. There's no chance of getting back and
Score,
joining that.
score. What's the score on it? What's the score?
Devashish, you predicted 300 the other day. Yeah, India got 350.
Can you look at earlier answer? Let's say
He's saying 260 to 270.
Yeah, what is the prediction?
What is the feeling? India will win, of course. Devashish in his blue. India will win. No doubt about that.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much, both of you. Have a good game. Hopefully the rain gods stay away. Devashish said you're a rock star. Said 300, India got 350. You come back to India and you must be joining us. Why you wanted to and that question today, that is
the Mama and Bhagne.
the Mama and Bhagnesh show. Not
Yes.
bad.
Thank you, guys.
Well then, go enjoy. After Sri Lanka batting first, rain interruption looming. How would you, as a captain, calibrate? Would you say, we've got to play for weather? We don't care.
No, at this stage you can't play for weather because weather factor you start planning for that when you start batting, when you start chasing. When you are bowling, I don't think you can plan for the weather. Yes, I mean if it's a reduced match, some of your bowlers will not bowl 10 overs. But now I think they'll try and be as normal as possible. The only problem is stop start for fast bowlers means body warming up, body warming down. Those difficulties are there. But overcast conditions should, if you have some play conditions, will suit India. And irrespective of that, regardless of that, Indian fast bowlers would have trouble with Sri Lanka bowlers.
I think what he's trying to get at is if the Sri Lanka players going back, do they keep the rain in mind and back? I think that was your question. You really can't, because the good thing about the system now is it takes into consideration that when you batted and when they bat, and that's how it's done. So at the end of the day, they've had so much of rain in this tournament, everybody's going to hang out to go about it. First, they will want to get over those 10 overs from these fast bowlers. That's not going to be easy in these conditions. If the game starts on time, with the conditions the way we saw, they will be help for Bumrah, for Siraj, and they'll be a handful. I won't be too surprised if they are 30 for 3.
Last couple of questions. How important is this game in the context of the World Cup? Suppose India wins, will it sort of give them a bit of a momentum? They'll say, okay, we've answered a few questions, but World Cup is a different story. What is your take on that?
I think World Cup is going to be a completely different story. Of course, winning a final will give you the boost. In every possible way, it is a positive thing. But World Cup will be a different game altogether.
We haven't had a great run before this. I think this will have a huge effect on our World Cup. Just giving the belief that that's also in the subcontinent. This is also in the subcontinent. We've beaten very, very good teams. We've been in the final. And we're coming on our own. What has, for me, has been the most heartening thing about the Asia Cup is the fact that our main players are in form. And for me, that is what it takes to win the World Cup. If you go back in the history of the World Cup from 75 till date, you will never see all 11 players being in form. But the main 6, 7, 8 players were in form, and those teams won the tournament.
Suppose Washington Sundar does well today, and the Sri Lanka, the selectors also have Akshar Patel back. What would they do?
I think they should go by Akshar Patel because he was first choice. Washington Sundar comes in as a replacement. So if Akshar is fit, Washington Sundar goes back to being a replacement.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if he can fly into Sri Lanka, he can fly anywhere in India.
Yeah, I agree with that, because the good thing is that if somebody gets a major injury, you can have them replaced. But ideally, great opportunity for him. And a lot of times, you know more prehistory than me. A lot of times, not just in India, but all over the world, it's these little cracks that people have made careers out of.
Yeah,
Look what Malabushan has done when he went in as a concussion substitute.
I mean, this is why it's an opportunity for some, and that adversity brings out the best. In people who have the mettle, who have the courage, who have the deep dive and the determination to make a difference. Last few minutes on our show. So, rain, clouded up, India favourites at this point at least?
I would say so. Because India, as Jolly was pointing out earlier, that man for man, India is better placed than Sri Lanka. Weather is a big factor, but if you keep that, you can't keep that factor out at the moment. But going by India have beaten them in the tournament earlier. And the way the teams have played so far in every department, India are a better side.
Last Asia Cup, Sri Lanka, better record, home crowd, 20,000 people.
Yeah, I still feel 70% it was before the toss. Now I'm going to give India 80% because I think they'll be a handful with the ball first up, and I think batting second they'll have a better equation in front of them.
Last move too, Rohit Sharma 250th game as as an India player, as captain now, good form going in 250th game, major milestone. Thoughts on the captain?
And he's in superb form. I mean, he hasn't got a big 100 yet, but he's the top scorer of the tournament and he has got 11 sixes. Yes, if he has some 240 balls in this tournament, he's 11 sixes. So he's in very good form, and as Jyoti was saying, that's the best time to be in good form. So Rohit Sharma 250th match landmark, yes, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
Game-changing player, one of the best to have played white ball cricket.
Captaincy. This tournament he has sort of stood up with.
Yeah, he stood up because his players stood up. It's all about the players. We've spoken to many captains. We keep speaking to sort of. They're as good as my team. And if you see all the great captains, the Wars, the Pontings, they always attribute to the team. So I think it's all about the team.
Okay.
And I also feel it's about the team. It's not just about the team, but everybody being informed. Yeah, he himself is a daddy player. That's a huge help. And the 500s in the last World Cup. And from then, I think, great time to everybody to come into form, great time for everybody to hit their straps because, we're not too far from the World Cup, are we?
Okay, so major breaking news from the venue. Shubhan will soon send us a video and it started to drizzle. The Asia Cup started with rain and the final as well starts with some rain. Maybe the start will be interrupted. 7 minutes to go for the regulation time start. But the rain has started to come down at the Premadasa. We will soon show you visuals from outside the ground. Atro, you take that question, but we will soon tell our viewers and show our viewers what's going on. It has started to drizzle. Take the Rohit Sharma question.
Yeah, Rohit Sharma, see, I mean, yes, I agree with the point of view that a captain is as good as his team is. Having said that, Rohit is a fairly proactive guy, and the thing I like about Rohit the captain is he's a fairly cool customer. Looks like a very cool customer. He doesn't lose. I mean, he doesn't scream or yell at his bowlers. Whenever he can, he manages a smile. These things matter to me. I mean, these things mean a lot to me from a captain. I mean, a captain, if he meets a cool demeanor on the field, that makes a lot of difference. If a captain gets rattled, if the captain shows his irritation, that might affect the players around him. So Rohit's, I'm not getting into the tactical side of it. I'm just the way he conducts himself, the way he interacts with his players, the way he tries to cheer them up. Those things I quite like. I'm quite fond of Rohit the captain.
Okay, let's hear what Rohit's partner, who was our centurion in the last game, in really good form, Shubman Gill. We had spoken about Shubman Gill at the start of the WTC final with Greg Chappell. We spoke to Greg Chappell about Shubman Gill in white ball cricket as well. What is the Aussie great saying? Is he worried about Shubman Gill? Does he think Shubman Gill will stand up for India in the World Cup as well? We will come back with visuals from Colombo, which our team will send, and that will bring an end to the show. It started to drizzle. Here's Greg Chappell and Shubman Gill. Watch this video as we come back with latest visuals.
No, I think in this format he'll be fine, and I expect him to do very well. I think this format he's shown before, he does very well. The issue that I've seen with him is more pronounced in red ball cricket, where the ball can move around a little bit more, and catching fielders are in positions for much longer. It's not such an issue for him in white ball cricket. But it can be an issue. There's no doubt that if he gets good balls early on, while the ball's new and hard and maybe doing a little bit, but he's a good player. He's proven himself in this format before, in most formats, to be honest. I'd expect him to do well.
We've done the whole show almost in India. What about Sri Lanka? For them, nobody gave them a chance. Look at them. They are in the finals. They played well. Last Asia Cup, they're going into the World Cup. They've always had good World Cups. Last final, what's what?
And the 13th final that they're playing, 2 more than India. So they're not pushing us in this tournament. Teams like West Indies are not in the World Cup. They're quietly in there. They keep doing the right jobs. And I am very, very happy at the resurgence of Sri Lanka. Small country, doesn't have the sort of firepower and the team strength that we have. 38 first-class teams. They have 6 first-class teams. So I'm very, very happy. And I think they'll come onto their own. They're here in the final. and they will push teams in the World Cup as well, because it's in the subcontinent and they love playing this brand of cricket.
This is what my question was, that in the subcontinent, they got the momentum now. In Dubai, we saw how they were in the last Asia Cup. They won that, and it sort of made a huge difference in a country which was riddled by crisis and all of that. Australia, very different, but Asia, in Asia, subcontinent, Sri Lanka will be a handful in the world.
And they have regrouped at the right time. They have found new players. Unfortunately, Tishana is not playing today. They have got Velagale, the left arm spinner, who's a very
Pronounce it.
Velagale. Velagale.
Finally, we got it right, and somebody got it right.
I pronounce Pragyananda, so I can do anything now. Anyway, coming back to Sri Lanka, yes, in these conditions, they are a very, very handy side. They have an assortment of spinners historically. The side that won the World Cup in '96, all of their batters used to come and pull a bit of spin bowling, left arm, right arm, everything. This team has a rather weak on batting in comparison. I think the openers are not firing. Lower middle order, they haven't gotten too many runs. But on paper, they got a strong batting lineup. Dhananjaya batting at number 7, Velagale at number 8. Means they bat deep. And of course, they have those spinners. Sri Lanka in these conditions are a very, very handy side.
When your name is Atriya Mukhopadhyay, you will pronounce most things right.
Okay, so that's brilliant. So try pronouncing who won the Diamond League javelin last night. Pronounce his surname. Try pronouncing Velagale. Try pronouncing all these names, because trust me, at the end of the day, you will emerge far more proficient with names. And on names, we have a 43-and-a-half-year-old finally putting his name on that Davis Cup team sheet for one final time. And as we speak, India won the first set, leading the second set against Morocco. Rohan Bopana, what an incredible career. We celebrated him on Red Sports. We finished off, we won the match. So Rohan Bopana signing off his Davis Cup career with a win against Morocco. India up to 1 in that tie. Sumit Nagal winning that singles after Shashikaran Mukund lost in the second and the third set. He had a good start 7-6, but then second set 7-5 and third set at the start. Despite an early break, he was up with a break 1-0, conceded a few games and lost. But good period for Indian sport. Take chess, take obviously Neeraj Chopra last night, the Indian cricket team. I'm not mentioning football here because that's a bit of a strange one. India reaches China 16 hours before an Asian Games match against the hosts. So, and the women's team, the women's cricket team has departed or leaving today for China. We've put out visuals. The football team is assembling in Delhi at 5 p.m. and leaving this evening. So that's about the Asian Games. And our team, you will soon have Trisha Ghoshal put up her picture of going to China along with Rohan and myself and Sukumar. So lots of activity going on here on Red Sports. Trisha is already starting to make her reels. Atriya Mukhopadhyay, Joydeep Mukherjee, both saying India favourites. What's happening there? We'll be back with visuals from Colombo, but for the moment, that's all we have from the studio. 1 minute to go for regulation time start. Do we have a start? Do we have rain? Keep watching Red Sports for all the ultimate updates.